Okay, so serial for the month of May 2023. Let's go. It's like every month, this episode is about the photos I've taken or the photos I've edited during the previous months, the months of May. And here we're starting directly with film, with me testing a point-and-shoot camera, which is a Leica Z2X, kind of a general public point-and-shoot. Actually, I'm really having a lot of fun with this camera and pretty good results. Here it's with the Bergger Pancro 400 ISO film in Iceland. Some details. I've already shot with this camera, but I'm continuing the test, and it will probably lead to a specific video about this camera, which is kind of underestimated in my opinion. Here's same equipment, testing the camera in various environments and for various scenes. Low lights, night light, details. Here again, the sea, the snow. Very interesting. I really like that film actually. Also, the Bergger Pancro 400 has got some punch, and I've talked about it a few months back, actually even 1 or 2 years ago. But really great combination. Then this month was I kind of went in every directions in terms of equipment. This month was quite intense in medium format digital. So here's a picture on the left is me trying out a camera I wasn't used to. It's a medium format Leica S007. It's based on a CMOS sensor. I've used in the past the S006, which was based on a CCD, a 37 megapixel sensor. And here using the Summicron, Summicron 100mm f2.0 lens. That's a picture on the left in a train. And on the right, that's a full frame camera, the SL2 using an Summicron 50mm f2. Not very important for that picture on the right, but two examples. Also a reminder that it's definitely not the same. And more importantly, when you have close subjects using a medium format or a full frame, you're not going to have the same perspectives. I will probably do an episode on the YouTube channel about that, but it's here's the two next pictures, basically the same idea. The picture on the left, that's digital medium format, and that time was the S006 CCD based Leica medium format digital. Using the Summicron 100mm f2.0, and on the right, the SL2 with an Summicron 50mm f2. It's the medium format again. When you're close, you really get perspectives you wouldn't get with the equivalent field of view using a full frame. Medium format is really different. Even so, the digital medium format is not as large as film medium format. It's really something different. Here, as you can see, those two pictures this time is medium format with this new Leica S007 camera. It's not the latest camera from this superlative they have a series which is the medium format at Leica, which is really the high end. And here it's again with the 100mm Summicron f2.0. There's a big difference between the S006 that has a CCD sensor and the S007 with its CMOS sensor is really lots more range for the dynamic range. The S007 is way better. Less noise at higher ISOs. Really great camera, very fast. 006 with its CCD. Actually, I do feel there's a difference with skin tones, but here this project is a project I have, which is the Hypertight project. So it doesn't really matter. I might discuss that in the future. But I will definitely review those medium format digital cameras and how it comes out. What's the difference, the qualities, what's the experience also. Going back to film, here I was testing, I've been testing it before, but that Voigtlander Vito C point-and-shoot camera with a retractable lens. You open, there's a small panel that you rotate down and the lens comes out. It feels kind of plasticky, but actually it's a really great camera, great lens. I really will continue using it. It's kind of surprising. it's kind of a sleeper, I would say. And here it was an expired film, the Polaroid HDF1 100 ISO film. And that's in Iceland, two pictures I kind of liked. I'm kind of going in every direction this month, but yeah, just showing a little bit of the work. Here it's full frame Leica SL2 camera with the Apo Summicron 50mm f2 lens, so it's really great lens, low lights, great combination, and it's a dual photo. The photo on the left is me facing front, and the photo on the right, it's 180 degrees facing back, same time. I like doing dual photography for those who already know, but and for those who don't know. That's in the Reykjavik Marina. Also, I'm testing. There's a small lens for the SL2 Leica. Actually, it's for the L mount, for which the SL2 is compatible. It's a 7 Artisans lens, a 35mm f/5.6 fixed aperture lens. Very compact, super interesting. The cap is inside the lens. When you rotate beyond infinity, the cap slides and protects the lens. I wanted to test it because it's super compact. You can always take it with you. Kind of a easy street photography lens. And with a good sensor, it works well even in low lights. There's some vignetting, but actually the overall output is great with this lens. So something I will definitely keep with me in my bags because it's so compact. It's pretty cheap too, so it's not something you're scared of breaking. You can find it for other mounts too, but it's I will probably do a video review about it, but really great results in my opinion. I really liked it. Not the perfection that you would expect from other kind of lenses, but yeah, really lots of pleasure working with it. Going back to medium format digital, the next few pictures are going to be with Leica medium format S007. I was lucky to be at a workshop with Vespers organized by Nord Photography in Iceland with models and designer, clothes designer. And really fun times. It was really a good occasion to practice a little bit with this Leica S007 camera under all kinds of weird weather, under the rain, strong rain, heavy rain, cold, warmer, and yeah. Here it's both images are with Apo Summicron 100mm f2.0 on the left, f2.8 a little bit stepped down on the right. Again here, really the occasion for testing this S007. It's definitely one grade above the SL2 from Leica. It makes sense. It's supposed to be the top models from Leica, but doesn't disappoint. I really was. It's a real reflex. Also, by the way, it's the S series are reflex optical. So yeah, really an incredible experience. Again, here on the right, S007 with the 100mm f2.0, but on the left that was with the 30mm f2.8 lens made for this series of cameras. And yeah, the fantastic Iceland sceneries. And those two last pictures, actually they're not the last ones, but portraiture and details with the Summicron 100mm f2.0 and the S007. Really got enamored by this combination. So if you have the occasion, secondhand, you're starting to find some rather affordable medium format digital cameras. The Leica ones definitely don't disappoint. I felt they were really way above the SL2 series, well, the SL series and the M series, both the camera and the optical lenses. Here again, two more pictures. One on the left is low light, good occasion to test the low light performance of this medium format sensor, and yeah, and the PK, the definition, the details, the micro contrast, again with the Summicron 100mm f2.0. Let's go to something way more lo-fi. Those three pictures are film, expired APS film. The one on the left is using one of those sub-brands. I don't know who made actually the film, but it was under the name Photo Labo Club. It's APS film, a cheap APS film, expired of course, used on probably the smallest APS film camera ever, made by Fujifilm, the Fotonex 1000IX MRC. It's so compact. Quite a nice experience to use, and here it's during a DJ set by Maura Lombardo in a bar named Canal 54. I love to see those pictures with flash. Definitely a different feel to those new pictures we can have with our phones, with artificial flashes, well, LED flashes. That's the real old school flash. And the two pictures, the middle and right picture are the same camera, but using a Kodak expired color film. Just experimenting with those old cameras, which I love. Great experience to work with, and yes, the results are, it's subjective. You might like it, you might not. I kind of like it. Here it's using one of my old friends, the Olympus XA, this really super compact film camera, and using Foma's Retropan 320 ISO film. Really this vintage grain. It's a film that's still made. And that's Reykjavik. The picture on the left, obviously, without flash, and on the right, a detail from a room with a flash. I really liked the rendering of this film. Here again, same thing. There's a good definition, good detail, but you've got grain, and there's this kind of subtle softness, which makes things quite more poetic. But anyways, and the Olympus XA is really, obviously, I've always stated that's one of my favorite cameras, film cameras. Super compact, great lens. Here it's another camera I'm testing, a Contax T, one of those also classic small manual focus cameras. This one was a little bit like the Voigtlander Vito I talked about before. You have a panel that you rotate down, and the lens, which is collapsible, comes back out. And that's using the GCH 400 ISO film. It's another brand's film that was bought by Japan Camera Hunter. And yeah, it's quite contrasty. I like the rendering. I didn't really like the pictures I took this time. I've used this film in the past, but yeah, those two pictures kind of reflect something interesting that's different, way different than using the Retropan. I'm not yet sure about the results with the Contax T, but that'll probably be a video in the future. Also, for my personal use, I've always been intrigued by, that's been many years, but I've only started using Foveon sensors since a few months, and I finally was able to get to test the Sigma DP2 Merrill camera. It's basically, the Foveon sensor doesn't use it for digital pictures. It doesn't use the Bayerian transformation of 3 pixels next to each other with the red, green, and blue information that are then mathematically combined to have the real color of the pixel. It has pixel sensors one above the other on the same surface, so you don't need the formula as a mathematical transformation, and don't get the artifacts linked to it. And those Foveon sensors are supposed to have a better micro contrast and something more natural, closer to film in terms of color rendering. And the patents are held by Sigma and the technology. So yeah, the DP2's Merrill is getting old now, but was basically 15 megapixels times 3, one for each color. And then that's the result. And I feel, here again, the two pictures, the same thing, same camera. It's not a full frame, it's an APS-C sensor, basically a 45mm equivalent. But yeah, I'm kind of impressed. The camera is actually very nice to use, feels very organic, and the results are very organic, feels quite film-like. Definitely not the same color rendering as usual CCD or CMOS sensors. But yeah, great results. These are my first test with this camera, But here are two last pictures for this month. That was the model before the Sigma DP Merrill. It's older model, which was only 14.1 megapixel overall. So basically a equivalence of 4.69 megapixel once the colors are combined. And that was an older model. The body is quite smaller, as nice to use, less sensitive in terms of ISO, more noise. But yeah, there's definitely something with the Foveon sensor color rendering, which I really like. So I've read and I've listened to many videos where it feels kind of geeky, people telling you that the Foveon is great in terms of color rendering. I must say, for those first tests I've done, I kind of agree. I really like the rendering. I really like the results. But I'll probably talk about it very surely we'll talk about it in a future video about those Foveon sensors and those two cameras in particular. But anyways, yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable, entertaining. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Maybe propose some other ideas for the future when I take pictures. And yeah, don't hesitate to post comments either. And catch you next time.